Okay. So this is what happened. So this morning I looked up on Rotten Tomatoes. I just wanted to see what movies were good. So I looked up and it said there's this movie called Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. I looked it up and it has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes and 94% audience score. It's like, that's not bad. That's the same score as Spider-Verse. So I was really looking forward to watching it. So then I watched it and here are my thoughts. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. If you're one of the Ruby Gillman stands over on Letterboxd, thanks for watching this video. But make sure to leave a like and subscribe because we have some really cool stuff coming up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I'm finally seeing it very soon. So make sure to look out for my review of that. But let's just get right into this. So a shy adolescent learns that she comes from a fabled royal family of legendary sea krakens and that her destiny lies in the depths of the waters, which is bigger than she could have ever imagined. And I didn't have high expectations going into this, obviously. First of all, Dreamworks isn't the best studio. They do have some bangers though. Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, obviously. But there are a lot of misfires. Boss Baby, you don't want to talk about that one. And you have the B movie.
You like jazz?
I could go on about their misfires for days, but I'm just going to say I didn't think this was going to be good at all. And I wasn't crazy excited. And I'm just going to get into the things that I liked about this movie first. Ruby Gillman, the character, she's funny, she's relatable, I like the actor, and the animation is actually pretty solid. I do have some issues with it, notably a certain scene features animation that's so generic and cliche, not just a certain scene, there are a lot of scenes, but I just think that a lot of the animation in this movie, it works, and it works well, and those are kind of the things that I actually enjoyed about this movie. And I'm going to admit, there are some sequences where it was actually funny and I was actually enjoying the movie, where it was kind of like, there was a dynamic between one character and another character and they're back and forth. It entertained me a little more than I was expecting. This movie copies so many movies that everyone has seen before, and there are two movies that I think it was in production kind of at the same time with, and it's just kind of unfortunate that it came out in this time, but Luca and Turning Red, it copies both of these movies, and it doesn't try to copy both of these movies, like I said, just a coincidence, but it just feels so forced, like, oh, we're going to get a theme from here, we're going to get a theme from here, we're going to do the exact same thing, but opposite of that, so people won't know that we're copying them. It feels like that. I know that's not true, but literally, Luca is spoiler. It's not really spoiler. It's kind of about like how you can't get out of the water, where this, you can't go in the water. So that's just kind of like a complete copy, and, again, it's not trying to do that, but it's just so unfortunate that it came out at this time. But then, Turning Red, you have a lot of the shape-shifting elements that just, it feels like it's a complete copy. And again, so unfortunate, but it took me out of the movie a lot of the times. And I wasn't enjoying it because it felt like a complete ripoff, even though it wasn't. But it's not just from those movies where it feels like a complete ripoff. There are so many movies that it tries to copy, and it feels just, it feels like another generic animated movie that comes out and you just forget about it in like a day or two, because I'm forgetting a lot of the characters' names right now, but you just forget about the movie, you forget about the characters, you forget about even the animation. I forget about, like, so many things about this movie. It's disposable, forgettable, and I don't care about a lot of this stuff, and I just didn't care about a lot of this movie because none of it was a lot of it wasn't interesting me or anyone watching this movie with me because I was watching it by myself. And I mentioned earlier how there will be sequences that are kind of entertaining and heartfelt, but then they will either interrupt it with a joke or there will be a major slog in the pacing. There are so many moments where I was like, okay, this is actually kind of getting better, and then the movie just immediately like cuts it with just, it cuts the tension and it makes it a complete slog, and it just becomes super boring and not entertaining, and it took me out of the movie. And when it does cut the tension and stuff like that, those moments will be so cliche and generic. Some of the conversations between the parents and the kids, they're really, really just not interesting or original. And those themes have happened in many movies before, and it feels like, yo, what are you doing? You can do better than this. Come on, man. And I said the animation is pretty solid and I do have issues. The thing is, it's a bummer that it came out in 2023, because there have been so many movies. Across the Spider-Verse, Elemental, Mario, like so many movies. I mean, I'm forgetting so many, because Nimona, so many movies that have come out this year with incredible animation. And then you get this that's just kind of repeating the same things that a lot of movies have. It's kind of generic, I think a lot of people will enjoy how blue it is, but in general, it just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like it's original. I do think the voice cast besides Ruby is fine, but they don't really have an impact, or they don't stick with you after watching it. Like, man, that was a great performance. It just feels like a run and done type thing where they kind of feel like the character, but it also doesn't feel like it was trying to do anything new. And they give solid jobs, and it's kind of annoying because I'm critiquing them where they put in so much more hard work into making the movie, but I don't know. It didn't work for me. Personally, it didn't work for me, and I know a lot of people didn't work for them. And also, why does this movie have a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than The Flash? And there are cringy and conventional lines of dialogue that also happen throughout the movie, and they take you out, and there's like, okay, there's a nice moment here. Yes, do this. I'm raising my hand like Fletcher. Do this. And then there's just the most cringy, conventional piece of dialogue. Is that even saying? I don't care, because it's so cliche, and you see it in movies all the time, and then it just takes you out of the movie, and I'm like, bro, why'd you have to do that? Why do you have to ruin it? Come on, man. Before I give you guys my score, if you enjoyed this video, if you like my positivity, then make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because we got some cool stuff. We got some really cool stuff coming up, man. It's running in my bones, and I can't get it out, but it's just that I have a lot of stuff planned that you would probably want to see. But for Ruby Gillman, I'm going to give Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken a 3.8 out of 10. Again, if you like my positivity, leave a like. 3.8, very good score. Yeah, definitely makes sense that it has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was a joke, by the way. It has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, okay? That was photoshopped. Okay, just kidding. It actually does have a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Look out for my review of Only Murders in the Building Season 3 coming up very soon. I saw the first 2 episodes, and I have some good things to say about it. See you soon.